Hello, and welcome back to the base 7 Days of Saw. We're in day 2, and we're dealing with Saw 2. That's right, the wonderful, wonderful sequel to it. Now, this one is quite interesting because you have, what's his name? What's his name here? Donnie Wahlberg. Donnie Wahlberg is in it as Detective Matthews, and one of the minor characters from the first one, played by Dinah Miller, or Dinah Meyer, Dinah Meyer. She's back as well because she was on the Jigsaw case we saw with Danny Glover and another fellow, I can't remember his name. Um, but she shows up and they end up finding out, they end up tracking Jigsaw down because a new body drops, and the good old detective ends up following some clues that Jigsaw left behind, and they find John. They find the Jigsaw killer, and they capture him only to find out that he wanted to be captured in the first place. He planned for it because Detective Matthews' son has been captured and is being held in a house with a bunch of other people, and there's going to be trouble because there's a good possibility that he's going to die. And in order to save him, John wants Detective Matthews to sit and talk with him a while. And this is quite interesting how it happens because over the course of the episode, you end up finding out that in there, everybody in that house except for the good detective's son, is a criminal that was put there by the detective. Not only that, but put there um, illegally because he framed them. He planted evidence to get a conviction against them. So there's people there that want revenge. So it puts the detective in even more of a state of uh, strange and anger and frustration and helplessness. Uh, there's a lot of that going on in this wonderful sequel, as well as the fact that one of the people in there is Amanda from the first one, the only one of the only one of John's victims to have survived. She had the reverse bear trap wired into her jaw and whatnot, and she had to get the key and unlock it and pull it off before it popped open and basically tore her head apart. And she did. She got out of there. And now she's apparently back in because she's backslid. And fun things happen from there because the house is loaded with booby traps and other little games for these people to play. But they're all also dying of a nerve agent that is being pumped into the place. Basically, sarin gas, I believe, because he mentions the Tokyo subway. So it's quite interesting because you have this whole thing playing out in the house as well as what's playing out between John and Detective Matthews. And there's some interesting byplay going on in all of that. It's really quite good in that term. I like what's done with the series as a whole. But the first movie and the second movie and even the third movie, which I'll be getting at tomorrow, I really like how they managed to string it all together. Because what do you end up finding out in the end? Yes, there will be spoilers being talked about. Um, you find out that Amanda is the one that is behind all of this. And Detective Matthews was her first test subject. She did all of this, and John helped to bring him there because she is John's acolyte. She's going to continue on his work when he dies. So that is really cool and interesting that they tied it into the first one. And as we'll talk about in the next videos, they not only tied into the first one, but they all are tied together. They managed to do callbacks to some of the other ones, and it's really cool and amazing how they do that. So that's Saw 2. As always, if you like what I'm doing, please give that like button a tap, give that subscribe button a tap as well if you haven't already, so you can be kept apprised of when I do new videos, and throw a comment in that comment section. What did you think about the Saw series? What did you think about the sequel? let me know. I'd love to get a discussion going. And until next time, check out Saw 2. You might like it. And I'll see you next time.